We have always studied that plants are autotrophs, which means that they do not depend on someone for their food and make it all by themselves. However, that is not true for all the plants existing out there. We mean that not all the plants depend upon carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight only. Some of them also feed on living insects, which technically makes those plants fall in the category of carnivorous. But the question is, why do those autotrophs do so? And how did they evolve in such a species? And above all of that, what are some of the carnivore plants that exist in the ecosystem today? In this video, we are going to give you the answer to all those questions. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Around 65 million years ago, dinosaurs were roaming around the planet. But suddenly an asteroid came from outer space and it not only entered our atmosphere, but it also collided with our planet and destroyed almost every part of life that existed on it. Somehow, some organisms managed to survive while the others failed to do so. However, this collision created a scarcity and imbalance of nutrients and components in both lithosphere and atmosphere, imbalancing the whole biosphere of Earth. While struggling a lot, plants somehow survived a century, but the lack of nitrogen and other important components such as phosphorus in the soil made them realize that they are not going to survive for long if they depend upon their conventional means of nutrition. And that's where evolution came into play. Plants somehow adapted and evolved with their surroundings and started to feed on small insects with the purpose of fulfilling the lack of nutrition they were facing with their soil. However, this was not an instant change which occurred in just a decade or in a century, but it took many millennials for them to completely achieve that stage of evolution, where they were able to feed on any insect they wished to in order to fulfill their need of nitrogen and phosphorus. And as the time passed, more than dozens of carnivorous or insect-eating plants fully evolved on Earth, and that's how it all began. Now, as you know why and how plants evolved into carnivorous, let us now tell you the names and characteristics of some of them existing on the Earth today. Pitcher plant. Pitcher plants are classics among the carnivores, easily recognizable by their flared funnel-shaped trap. This is a modified leaf that has sticky hairs on the interior preventing insects from getting out. Once the insect enters in it, it's almost impossible for him to escape out of it. In the end, the hapless bug is drowned in digestive enzymes at the base of the funnel and gets completely dissolved into it. Sundew. These plants are passive trappers. They sit in innocent but deadly weight, adorned with pad-like leaves covered in very sticky hairs. These glue insects in place, effectively preventing it from escaping. The mucilaginous glue ensnares the insect, and the pest's struggles to escape alerts the plant to close the leaf. Tiny glands in it then release digestive juices that dissolve the insect and move the nutrients into the plant, completely taking his life. You might not believe it, but there are over 194 species of sundew with a form native to every continent except Antarctica. Bladderworts. Bladderworts have the only true trapdoor amongst the carnivorous plants. It is a small aquatic plant that can thrive at marginal spaces or completely submerged, making it almost impossible for anyone to predict whether they are carnivorous plants or not. Tiny bladders hang from the plant, each with a pocket and flap that close much like a garage door. Despite such open appearance, water cannot enter the bladder due to the mucilaginous secretions and tissues that glue shut. Once an insect is trapped inside, it is summarily consumed and nutrients delivered to the plants. As an added bonus, many species have brightly colored attractive flowers, because of which many people also opt them to plant inside their house. Venus flytrap. With the scientific name of Dionea, almost everyone can recognize a Venus flytrap. These are common in many nurseries and garden centers in the east coast of the United States, along with North and South Carolina. What is intriguing about this carnivore is the leaf's ability to move quickly. The adapted leaves are paired and hinged, closing much like a clamshell when an insect is detected. Many species have brightly colored leaves fringed with tooth-like hairs at the edges. These mesh together with the leaves closed, creating a caged trap, and then enzymes are released in order to digest them. Plants receive nitrogen and other essential nutrients as the insect is digested. However, the plant is both scary and comical at the same time, and seems to be designed especially for a role in Little Shop of Horrors. So spooky, isn't it? Butterwort. No, we have not misspelt. Bladderworts and butterworts are two different species of meat-eating plants. The innocuously named butterwort plant is another native in this category. There are over 80 species whose ranges include both North and South America, as well as Europe and Asia. These fun plants produce lovely tiny blooms with 5 petals, and most start out as rosettes, which are not carnivorous. They are beautiful and harmless when it comes to flowers, but once the succulent leaves form, the plant becomes deadly to insects. Leaves are often pink or bright lime green and decorated with droplets of sticky sap. This plant traps insects much like flypaper, and after trapping a victim, hairs on the leaves begin to release several digestive enzymes. Most plants in this family seem to need a dormancy period during which you can reduce watering. Once the succulent leaves appear, increase moisture levels and watch the plant do its magic on annoying gnats and other pesky bugs. So our list for some of the deadly carnivorous plants officially ends here. For a while at least. Have you ever seen one of them in your life before? Let me know in the comments down below. And also mention if you want a second part of this video too.